So now what I need to do is make the sync signal offset and scale to the size of the selection. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change a little bit. I'm going to go with a snapshot. Well, I'm going to keep it like this for now, but eventually I'm going to not use the send. Um, I'm going to go directly out of snapshot by cable. I'll just hide the cable, and that'll update my position. But what I need to know are a few different things. I need to know where the loop starts in relation to the sound file, and I need to know how long the loop is in relation to the sound file as a whole. So let's start with the start first in relation and call that the offset. So I'm going to come out of my snapshot and go over here. I'm going to set up some math. I need to know where I start and divide that starting location of my loop divided by the length of the file as a whole will give me an offset percentage. So receive machine loop start. That is going to get divided by, and I'll just say 1,000 floating point for now. But it's going to get the division is going to be the file length. So I can take the file length, bring it down here. And the output of that is going to be a floating point number. And it's going to equal the percentage of the sound file. The start will equal the percentage of the sound file. So to make this work, I've got to load the file in to start. So let's go back to the guitar, load it again. And I also have to, well, it updated the start, but I can do it again. Let's select all. And you see it is 0. I'm going to go back in. I didn't change these things color-wise to make them more readable like I had done before. My grid color needs to be light on both. Although it's not showing up on the second one. And I think I want the first one to show me phase now as my timing units, and that's what it's doing, so I can compare to what I'm selecting. So lock it, and you can see that the selection start, because I clicked, let's click it right around 50. And you can see there's 0.502, because I'm not quite on 50. See, it changed a little bit before. 0.2 brown should be around 0.25 now, 248. So it's giving me the phase of where the loop starts. So that's an offset to the signal. That needs to go in here as a plus. It has to be a floating point. And then this goes here. So now if I play, and I need to do it again. And you can see it's starting in the middle now and playing to the end, which is right, but it doesn't hook correctly if I do this. It still goes to the end. So it doesn't know how long the loop is in reference to the sound file for scaling purposes. It's going to get rid of these two things entirely. And that's just a little bit more math. I need to know the length of the loop, and to do that I need to know its start point and its end point. Subtract the start from the end. Then I need to know the overall length again, and I need to have it done in a certain order, and I'm going to control that. So let's start with everything I need. I need the end. I need the start. And I need to receive it, not send it. So I need the end. I need the start. And I need the length. That kind of went over. So, and anytime any one of them changes, I need to recalculate. So the best way to control that is to create a list that's going to update when any item changes. That is a POC object, P-A-K. It's going to be 3 floats that go into it. Stretch this out a little bit. Okay, and I need to immediately unpack it. So I go through it. Now, what this just means is that if I change the start point without changing the end, it will still send all 3 numbers out. And then I can process these in the order I want to do that. So I need to first subtract the start from the end. And again, I'm just going to give it an argument of 1,000, but that's going to get replaced. So this is the end. It's item 1 on the list. The start comes out the middle. Then I'm going to divide. That's going to give me the size of this. Now I do need to send everything again so it's in the list. So let's give it the guitar open again. And you can see that my loop length is 874.9 milliseconds, which pretty much matches up, right? 2214 minus 13, 39. It's almost 900. Okay, so that's working. Then the next thing is to divide this by the file length, which is coming out of this. And that's going to give me my scaling factor. And that's not quite the object I want. I want a float number box. So again, I will drop the guitar open. And that represents about 1/3 of the file. If I were to just go from 2.25 to 0.5, it should be about 1/4 of the file, or half of the file, right? So that becomes a scaling factor. Once I've offset, then I scale the length so that 0 to 1 matches this location. It's going to be 0 is going to have plus 0.25, and then this going from 0 to 1 from the sync output is going to be scaled down to 0.5. And if I play this again now, I do need to update everything. And change this to this. Now I see it kind of matching up with what I selected. I'm going to break that now. And instead of doing a send and receive, I'm going to do patch chords up to these 2. So I should be able to go here and I'm making sure it tells me over here that that's the slider. And I'm going to this bottom one, and that's showing me it's up here, isn't it? Waveform. That's the slider. And then I can option drag to select them both and hide them on lock. And lock the patch. And now if I play, now it's a little bit off this time. Ah. Because I'm a little bit stupid. I need to scale, then offset. And for those of you playing at home, you might have been screaming this for a while. But that's what I'm going to do. Fix it now. It's the offset, or the scaling first, because I need to know the loop length, and then the offset second. So it's important to know that I'm only going halfway through the file, then where that halfway starts. Then these two things now, I can select a patch cord because they're already hidden, drag it down here, and drag it down here, and let's update that and see if that worked. And it's still just a little bit behind. And if I change speed, sync speed changes. All right, and that's giving me a little bit of an overlay, visual overlay. Last thing I'm going to do in the next video is show you how to jump around, but that's going to come at a later point. So there we are. Happy maxing.